Oh, sorry, I was on mute and I was just talking. Sorry. Okay, now let me, yeah, okay, let me just redo it again. Okay, so yesterday, we have started discussing about types of variable. So total 3 types of variables are there. So in which, like, first one is the instance variable. So yesterday we have discussed about the instance variable, how to create instance variable and how can we access instance variable and from what place we can access instance variable. So I'll just try to reiterate first 5 minutes what we have discussed yesterday, and then yeah, we can start about the static variable. So the first thing is instance variable declared can be declared. So within your class, like if you notice here, the class starts from here. So if you notice here, so this is the whole class. So within your class, you can declare within your class and outside of your function. So if you notice here, so there is a function. So this is the main method is a function, or like a block, or like the regular function, or like a construction. So variable that you are going to declare, it must be within a class, but outside of a function or constructor or a block. Okay, outside of the construction or block or function. So here, when you are yeah, okay, sorry. So here, so if you declare a variable without mentioning static, so if you mention static, it's automatically it will become static variable. When you declare instance variable, you should not mention static. Okay, that is the first rule. Okay, the second rule. Okay, so when you declare a static variable, you no need to explicitly assign a value or explicitly initialize. You no need to initialize explicitly. So why? Because we have just discussed yesterday. So why? Because let's say if you are trying to declare a variable which is going to vary from one object to another object, then definitely we had to go for an instance variable. So that means yesterday we have seen some example. So here the first value of a for this particular object we have assigned 100. The second time we are using the same variable, but we are trying to assign a value for second object. So here it is 150 and here 100. So that means like if the value of variable, if it is going to change from one object to another object, definitely we had to go for instance variable. So instance variable, it's no need to initialize at the beginning. So no need to initialize at the beginning. So here, if we don't initialize at the beginning, by default, your JVM is going to initialize some default values. Okay. So default values we have seen, like what are the? Yeah, 1 minute. Hey, sorry, yeah, 1 minute. So here the rule is if value is being changed from one object to another object, definitely we have to go for instance variable. Okay. So at the beginning of instance variable declaration, if you notice here, so this is the beginning of instance variable declaration. You no need to initialize. So generally, when you are trying to declare an instance variable, you should not initialize that one. So if you are initializing here, let's say you are initializing here int a equal to 100. Okay. So that means you are fixing some value for this one, but later we can change it, but assigning this value and later again, you are trying to reassign this value. Now let's say int a equal to 100. Now you are trying to reassign this value for a specified object. Okay. So that time what we are going to do, so here we have created an object types of variable. So here again, when you are trying to assign the value for A, we are going to change that value. So when you are changing a value for object to object, you no need to specifically initiate that particular object or value, whatever it is. Okay. So the third rule. So third rule, once instance variable is declared, we cannot access this instance variable from static area. So static area means it can be a function or it can be a block. But for now, I'm not going to discuss what are the functions and what are the blocks. Just keep in mind this rule. When it comes to these functions and blocks, we are going to discuss. So that means once you declare variable as a instance variable, you cannot access instance variable from static area or non-instance area. So here, like static or non-instance area, you can call it as non-instance area. So that non-instance area or static area means it can be a function or it can be a block. That means we can have static blocks or we can have static functions. For now, don't worry, we are not talking about that one, but keep in mind that rule. Okay. The fourth one. The fourth one is instance variable can only be accessed from current class object. So that means this is the class. By creating an object and using that object, we can access this current class instance variables. So that means to access this variable, you cannot directly access them. By using current class object, you can access them. So, but there are some access level when it goes to the modifiers there. I'm going to discuss about that. Okay. So for now, the rule 4 is to access instance variable, we have to use your current class object. So that means here, if you notice here, so I have created an object for current class types variable. Okay. So using that, I have accessed instance variable and I have assigned a value. Okay. Rule number 5. So instance variables can be accessed from instance area. So that means instance method or instance block. Okay, but don't worry. That again, like methods and the functions, we are going to discuss later. Okay, that's what we have discussed about the instance variable. Now, the second one is the static variable. So when we go for static variable and what is the access level? When are we going to use static variable? What is the purpose of static variable? Now let's discuss. Okay, so yesterday I given simple high level description about the static variable, but now let's discuss about in detail what is static and when we'll go for static and what are the advantages of static. Okay, so here let me just go to a notepad. So only thing is theoretical part. When it comes to the theoretical part, so static variable, let's say like if someone asks you what is static, when do we go for static? So basically, when you are trying to declare a variable as static, if you think that that variable value is not going to change object to object, then we'll go for the static variable. So that means if you are trying to declare a value for a particular variable, if that variable is not going to change object to object, so that means that value is common across all your class members or objects that are going to create for that particular class. But let's see a few examples so that you will have a better idea. Okay, so here if you see anything, so let's say you are staying in one community, let's say like one apartments. So just apartment name is just this is the apartment name. Some XYZ colony, some XYZ community. Okay. So now here this is the apartment name. So here generally what we'll have, we can have like we'll be having n number of flats, right? So let's say we have like 100 flats. Okay, so each flat will be owned by or like rented by someone. So that means let's say there is a person staying in the flat number 1. No, one. So the name of this flat number or like name of this flat owner is some maybe Beena. Okay. So here, so that's second one. Okay. Name. So let's say Navya. And apartment, let's say 001, 002, and this is 003. Okay. Name is Ram. Okay. So like this, we have an apartment in which we have different plots, and then each plot is owned by someone else. So let's say now if we are trying to talk about an address for this specified person, let's say we are talking about the Beena. So when I talk about Beena, what are you going to see? So there will be separate for each and every person, there will be a separate plot number, definitely. So that means we are going to say first some Beena, some XYZ like Beena, some surname, and care of some XYZ community, right? Some XYZ community, and then followed by apartment number, some 001, some XYZ colony, some Hyderabad or something. Okay. So here, if you notice here, what are the common things that we are mentioning here? So here, if you notice here, that Beena, name of resident or name of tenant, is not a common. It's keep changing apartment to apartment. So it's keep changing apartment to apartment. So here, if you notice here, an apartment is nothing but one object. Okay. So here, for apartment to apartment, name of the tenant or name of that resident is keep changing. So that means if you want to declare a variable for name, so definitely this Beena should go under instance variable. Let me just clear this one and then right. Okay, this is the apartment number 001, 002, and 003. Okay, this is the apartment number and name here. So let's say this is the Beena, and this is Jaya, and this is Ram, something. Okay, some anyhow, community is the common name. So if you are talking about an address to be defined here, so address can contain the name. So name will keep changing an apartment to apartment. Okay. So first one is the Beena. Okay. The second one, apartment number. So definitely it's the 001. And then some address line, some street or some XYZ 123 street. Okay. And then some Hyderabad. Okay. So here definitely what we are going to say, we are going to have a care of some community name. So XYZ community. So here, if you notice here, so how many variables we are declaring here? So name is one variable, and then apartment's name one variable, and then apartment number is one variable, and 123, that means street name. So one variable, and then location or city name or like state name or whatever it is. So total we have 5 variables here. So in which one is keep changing object to object. So here is object is an apartment. So to talk about this apartment address, so definitely we are going to say name some XYZ, and then care of some XYZ community, and then apartment number, and then street name, and then city name. So if you notice here, 2 variables are keep changing. Those are name and apartment number, and remaining 3 variables are not changing. They are fixed always for each and every object across all the apartments, right? So our community is having 100 apartments. So each apartment, I mean each flat is going to have the different tenant name or like owners and then flat numbers. But when it comes to remaining things are common. Now here community name, street name, and location is not changing. So when it is not changing, definitely you no need to create as an instance variable. Always what we can do it here. So simply we can go here. Let me just write it down here simply. So int, so 1 minute, string name equals to name. I'm not going to assign the value. Why? Because in the runtime, I'm going to assign the value. Now int apartment number. Okay, so this is the one. And then next, what are the things? String community name. Okay, so this community name is fixed. you no need to assign in the runtime because already you know it, and it is going to be static. It's not the dynamic. So now you can just assign some XYZ community. Okay, here. So here, so to make it your variable is a static, you have to assign the static keyword. Okay, static keyword. 1 minute. Okay, you have to make it static. So that's it. Now this variable is a static variable and the value is fixed, and the value is not going to be changed from object to object. Now the next one, string street name, okay, equals to something like that. Again, Mount Vernon Highway. Okay, so this is also not going to change an object to object. So static. And the third one is the location. Okay, so if you talk about this one, this is how we can define instance variable or static variable. But where it is going to be useful for me in my real automation project, where it is going to be useful for me. So here, when it comes to the Selenium, we are going to talk few more examples. So there you will have the clear picture. But only thing is now we are talking about the topics, and later we are going to use them in our automation. Okay, I'll give one example. I'm not sure how many of you are aware of it. So here we are going to learn Selenium WebDriver. Okay, so Selenium WebDriver, we are going to create an object for Selenium WebDriver like this. Okay, so just take a look, WebDriver and then WebDriver. Okay, so start. So here when I declare, so don't worry, this is it's throwing some error on. Let me just make it static valid one. Okay, so here we are going to apply a static keyword or static data type for our Selenium WebDriver. Why? Because this Selenium WebDriver object or value of this one, it is not going to be changed an object to object. Throughout our project, we are going to use only one driver object or driver variable or whatever it is. Okay, but maybe you may not be able to understand now, but if you understand the concept, then we'll go for static. So static, if you are declaring and if the value of variable is not changing, definitely you can go for static. Okay, you don't need to create an object or you don't need to assign the value each and every time. So here, let me just show you something. 1 minute. Let me put this one down. Okay, put it down and come down here. Okay, sorry. Copy that whole thing main. Sorry, why it is not copy. I'm just putting it down. Let me remove this one, this main method. Okay, so let me just take off this one or no. Okay, now I'm trying to assign values for name, apartment number, and community name and street name. Let's see how static variable is useful for us. Okay, now I'm going to create an object. So create an object for our class, types of variable, types of variables equals to new types of variables. So this is the big concept that we are going to discuss about like 4 to 5 sessions, only creating an object. Okay, as part of the OOPS concept. This is the one of the biggest concept that we are going to discuss. And if you understand this concept, Selenium is going to be very, very easy. Okay, but for now, don't worry this one. Now, using this one, our role to access instance variables is we can access instance variables using our class object or current class object, whatever it is. Okay, now types of variables dot. So what is the name, right? Here name will be there. So name equals to some value I'm just trying to assign. Okay, so I'm just trying to assign Ram. Okay, now types of variables dot apartment number. Okay, so here I'm just trying to assign string, right? So I'm just going to give the 001, something like that. Okay. Now the next one. So here already I have assigned a value for community name. So you no need to again assign the value for 1 minute. Types of variables dot community name. What is it? Just 1 minute. Types of variables dot one. Yeah, it will not display, but let me just type the community name. Okay. So this community name, you no need to assign again like XYZ community each and every time. So why? Because it has been already initialized with some value. Okay. So for this specified object, let's say you are trying to create another object for the same class. Just example, just okay. I'm trying to create another object here. So let me take a copy of here. Okay, put it down. Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay. So here this time I'm changing something called Shilpi. Okay. So this I'm trying to change it to the 00. Okay. So again, the community name is going to be the same. So here again and again, you no need to assign community name is XYZ community. Why? Because this is the constant and static. The value is not going to change. Why? Because let's say you are going to have 100 apartments, and for each and every apartment, you are going to name it like some XYZ name or apartment name. So the name and apartment name is going to be changed. So because when it is changing, yeah, definitely we have to have as an instance variable, and then we have to assign the value. But value is not changing, then you no need to declare. Now we take this off. So now let me try to print this one, system dot or dot println. Okay. The name of this one. Just 1 minute. The apartment number. Now here always the value of system dot out dot println. So apartment name. What is that? Community, right? Common. So here also, if you wanted to like print this one, you can just simply go ahead and print it down. So here, this time we just have to change the object name. So for here, you don't need to provide any object name. Directly, you can access static variable from static area. That rule we are going to talk a little bit later. Okay. Now let me run this one and see. And also one more, let me keep the print statement for one more thing. So for your better understanding. So here, so let me just take off this one for now. So this is not specified to any object name. Okay. So here, if you notice here, see what is happening. So this is a instance variable. String name is a instance variable, and int apartment number is an instance variable. So as per our rule, as per our rule, instance variable cannot be accessed from non-static area. Okay, so to access from non-static area, you have to use your current class object. You have to use your current class object. So that's the reason here when I'm trying to access this name. Sorry. Yeah. So I am using my current class object to access my variable name. Okay. To access my variable name, I'm using my current class object from static area. So directly these variables I cannot access from the static area. To access from the static area, we have to use that particular class object. Then only we can access. Now let me do one thing. Take this one. Before initializing, let me access this name and apartment from static area by calling an object. Okay, so here dot. So here dot. Okay, now just take a look here. Let me take off this one. Okay, so if you notice here, the first print statement. So what I have done, so I have not initialized a value for name and apartment number. Okay, so in later means after making this statement, I have initialized the name and apartment number with some values, and I'm printing here. And again, I'm initializing these names with a different object. So, and then I'm printing here. Now let me print here and what it is going to show. Okay. Now let me run here this one. The main method I am running. So when I run main method, the values are going to be changed for each and every statement. So if you notice here, first, the name of first object here, this is what it is printing. It is giving null. So why? Because for string, the default value is null if we don't declare anything here. So here, if you notice here, just take a look. We have not declared anything here. We have just left as it is. But here it is printing some values called null. So who is printing or who is assigning that value? Java Virtual Machine. The Java Virtual Machine is going to take care of assigning default values for any variables. Okay. Now, the second one here, if you notice here, the row number, line number 54. Okay. So here I have not initialized anything. I'm just calling this apartment number variable using my class object. So here, if you notice here, the 0 has been printed. Why? Because we have not initialized. JVM has given that value. Okay. So it has been printed with 0. Now, if you notice here, the second statement, RAM and apartment number 1. So here, if you notice, we have given RAM and 001. So generally what happens in our Java, if you mention 00 before any number, it is completely in the compilation time, it is going to take off these zeros. Okay. So before your numeric value, if you are providing any zeros, there is no significance in Java. There is no significance in Java. So it is going to take out, and that's the reason it has printed 1. And then community name. So we have directly printed the community name because community name already has been initialized with some value. So this is fixed value. We are not going to change. So here community name is the XYZ, the name, apartment number, and community name. So the second one again. So if you notice here, so the name of the first object here, if you notice here, the Silpi, and then apartment number is 2, community name is XYZ. Okay, so XYZ, and don't worry why this values has been printed. There is the big logic behind the screens. Why? Because so here there are some instance blocks are there. So there is some relation. So generally we are going to see the static flow and instance flow later. Why? Because so if you notice here, this where it is coming from for 50. So here if you notice here, there is no We are not printing anywhere here, but still it is printing 50 and false. How it is printing? So that is part of the instance flow. Whenever you create an object here, so there will be some flows will be executed internally. So based on this logic, it is going to be executed. But don't worry why it is being executed or not. So based on instance flow and based on the static flow, some flows are going to be executed internally. But for now, don't focus on that one. Why, how these values printed 50 false? Because if you notice here, there is no way we are printing either 50 or false. We are printing the name and apartment number, and community, name, apartment number, community. But these 50 and false are coming from your constructor and instance block. Okay, there are some rules are there how your flow is going to be executed. That concept is called instance flow and static flow. Okay, for now just leave about that one. So if I take off this one here, now let me just take off this one, and then this print statement also. Okay, now let me run this one and see what is going to happen. So if you notice here, see here now we don't see that 50 and false values. Directly it is printing whatever values that we are trying to print it here. Okay, for now, just keep in mind how instance variable and static variables are used, are created, and when it is created, all these things. Okay, now the second rule from the static rule, static variable. So here, when it comes to the static variable, okay, now before going to that one, let's talk about this one again. So these instance variable cannot be directly accessed from static area, right? Directly you cannot access. Why? Because without an object, you cannot directly access. If I remove this one here, just remove. So what it is throwing? It is throwing an error. Why? Because you cannot access from the static area instance variable. When it comes to static variable, so you can access static variable directly from static area. So that means here, if you notice that directly I am accessing this static variable from static area. So how can we say whether it is a static variable or not? When you declare a variable, it's static keyword that is called the static variable. So here, if you notice here, I have applied static keyword for your variable. Then automatically, if you notice here, the difference between the name and community name, these are italic numbers, and these are normal Arial number. See, if you format, if you notice here, the format is the normal format. Here, if you notice here, the format is completely changed, the italic format. You can easily understand which one is the static and which one is the normal variable in your class file. Okay, so how can we say whether it is the static or non-static? If you apply static keyword for particular variable, that is called static. So when it is static, you can access the static keyword from static area and non-static area also. But when it comes to instance variable, you can access only from instance area, not from the static area. To access from static area, you have to use class object to access them, right? Now, so to access these static variables from static area, directly you can access. What about accessing static variable from non-static area? So that means non-static area means it can be the constructor or a function. Okay, function in the sense here, if you don't apply static keyword, so that is the static, sorry, non-static area. So here, if you notice here, this is a function, but don't worry what is the function, how it is created, all these things we are going to discuss. But just to keep in mind this rule, but when it comes to, again, functions, constructors, all these things, again, we are going to combine all these things. Okay, the rule for static variable. Now let me take this one, this direct to print statement, and I can keep it from here. See here, what happened? I can directly able to access the static key variable from non-static function. So for static, there is no restrictions. You can access from anywhere within your class, either from static area or non-static area. Okay, so next one. So can we access static variables from class object? Happily, you can access it. So here, if you notice here, if I apply 1 minute, types of variables dot. So here it is happily you can call your static variable from your current class object also. There is no difference between calling static variable alone and calling your static variable using your current class object. There is no difference. But here the standards always we have to follow. So whenever you are trying to call instance variable from static area, you can use the object. For to call static variable from static area, definitely you no need to use that one. But using it doesn't make any difference, but you have to follow the standards. That's it. Okay, now we can just remove this one also. Okay, so coming to the static, when we can declare if value of that particular variable is not changing from one object to another object, happily you can go for static variable. Static variables can be accessed from all the areas irrespective of either it is static or non-static area. And third one, so static variables can also be accessed using your current class object. Okay, so these are the rules. But again, so what happens when you create a static and instance variable in the memory side? But that part I don't want to discuss right now. We'll discuss once after understanding of all these basic concepts and when we discuss about the memory management concept. Then you will understand very clearly. Now, if I start discussing that one, it will be completely confusing. But I don't want to go in that level right now. So if you see here, instance variable and static variable, I think now you should have some clarity when we'll go for instance and when we'll go for the static variable. Okay, so any questions up to here? If you have any questions, now we can talk it now. Before going to the local variables, now we can talk instance variable and static variable if you have any questions. So I hope you are, I mean, you got it. So now let me move to the local variables. Okay. So local variables means what? So here, if you notice here, so whatever variables that we are declaring at the class level. So class level in the sense, so if you notice here, this is the starting point and this is the ending point. In between, if you are declaring any variable within the class, but outside of constructor, outside of member, sorry, outside of block, outside of the method or function, are called global variables. Okay, global variables are nothing but either it could be an instance variable or static variable. Okay, the variables that are being declared within the class but outside of the functions, constructors and blocks are called global variables. These global variables are nothing but either it could be the instance variable or static variable based on the behavior or like based on the keywords that you are going to declare. If you are going to declare the static, when you apply static, it is going to be static. When you don't apply static, it is going to be the instance variable. Okay. Now, third one is the local variable. When are we going to create local variable? and what is the importance of the local variables. Okay, so this one quite opposite to this instance and static variables is nothing but local variables. That means what? Whatever variables that you are going to declare inside of the constructor or a block or a function or method are called local variables. Local variables. Okay. And also here one thing before going to that one. So when it comes to here, instance variable, what is the lifetime of instance variable? When they are going to be initialized and when they are going to be killed, or static variable, when they are going to be initialized, when they are going to be killed, and also local variable. What is the time period? So here if we notice, instance variables are always related to an object. Always related to an object. So when object is being created, these instance variables will automatically be initialized. Once object is killed by garbage collector, the value of life of this variable also be killed or deleted. Okay. Second one, static variables. Okay, but this one we are going to see in the instance flow and up. Instance flow and then static flow. We have two concepts there we are going to discuss clearly. Okay. When it comes to the static variable, what is the life period or lifetime of the static variable? So here, as soon as your class started loading, okay, maybe you may not be able to understand what is class loading, all these things, but we will see later. Okay, when class started loading, your static variables will be initialized. Okay, and once class starts unloading, your static variables will be killed, or like that lifetime of the static variables is done. Okay, so that means that life cycle I am going to discuss later after a couple of sessions, or like after 2 or 3 topics. I am going to discuss about the life cycle, where it starts and where it ends. Now, if you notice here, we are simply clicking this run button. What happens internally when we click on this run button? So I am just clicking it. So when I click it internally, what is happening? What are the operations it's being run? How many times class is being loaded? Here I have created 2 objects. How many times these objects are being called? I mean, is called this times. I mean, this constructor. So this and all, we should know the life cycle when you run a program. So that definitely we are going to see that one. Okay. And when it comes to third one, what is the life period or lifespan of these local variables? Lifespan of these local variables. Okay. This is very simple. So this one, let me show you few examples and then we can discuss. Okay. So now when it comes to any class, definitely class starts with this open and closed brackets. So in which we'll have a lot of members. So members can be variables, functions, constructors, and blocks. So just assume that there is a constructor. Okay. Constructor always will have one open closed bracket. Okay. And also blocks. When it comes to the blocks, this is also one block. And the function also it will have one name, some test M1 function, and then followed by like this. So here, if you notice here, for each and everything, if for each and every member, there is a open closed curly braces. For constructor, we have open closed curly braces, and blocks we have open closed curly braces, and then functions also we have open closed curly braces. Now, if you are going to declare a value within these curly braces, is nothing but the local variable. So that means if you are going to declare your variable within one of them means constructor, either block or either function. So that means if you are declaring a variable within function or within constructor or within a block is called local variables. So that means let's write a small function, public void m1. M1 is the method one. Okay. So here open closed brackets. So now if you wanted to declare one variable int a equal to some 10. So this value, this type of variables are called local variables. What is the lifespan of these local variables? This lifespan of the local variables within this block only. If this method is execution is done, we cannot access this one. And also that access level of this variable within this block only. You cannot use this variable which is declared inside of this method from the other methods. So that means now let's say you have declared public void M2. So here from M2 you cannot access this function, this variable. Okay, the local variable can only be accessed within this block only. Within this block only you can access this variable. Okay, so you cannot access this variable from outside of this block. Outside of this block you cannot access. And lifespan of this or lifetime of this variable is within this block, and once after executing this M1 method, this is going to be destroyed, or this is going to be killed, or like destroyed by garbage collector or whatever it is. Okay, now let me go and declare some values here. Now I'm just coming down here. So public void, I'm just trying to create one function M1. Okay, so here I'm trying to declare one value int local variable equals to 10. Okay, now let me just try to print this one, system dot out dot println. Okay, so local variable. Okay, just to take a look here. So this is the static area or non-static area. Can anyone tell? So this is the non-static. That means instance area. So that instance concept is applied for functions also, but later we are going to discuss. Now, since this is the instance method or instance, this is instance variable. In the same way, when you don't apply static for function, this is going to be the instance method or function. So how can we access instance methods or variables? Using current class object only. Now let me try to access this one using my current class object, and let me print what it is going to do. Okay, so now let me just call. So already I have an object. So here, let me just use this object to call this one dot M1 method. Okay, I'm calling. Let me comment out this one. Okay, so here what did I do? I have declared a local variable, and what happened? I have assigned a value. Now I'm trying to print this one. Just focus here. I'm going to talk about one more scenario here. Now let me run this one and see what is going to happen. So 10 has been printed. Why? Because we have assigned the 10. Now I'm not going to assign the value here. Okay. So here, when it comes to the local variables, okay, when it comes to the local variable, and if you are not going to assign a value for a local variables, and now if I'm trying to use that variable, it is throwing an error. What is the reason? But when it comes to your global, that means class level variables, though you have not initialized a value, JVM is going to take care to initialize some default value. Okay, but when it comes to here local variables, JVM is not responsible person to initialize local variables. That is the programmer responsibility to initialize local variables. Okay. Now here what it is throwing an error, variable local variable might not have been initialized. So that means it is giving a warning, hey, this has not been initialized. Go ahead and initialize it. Now one more thing. So here if I don't use this one minute. Just take some scenarios we are talking here. Now, when I don't initialize, it is not throwing any error. But when I'm trying to use that variable which has not been initialized, it is throwing an error. Here the rule is, if you are declaring a local variable and if you are not assigning, there is no problem. Your compiler is not going to check that one. Okay. So if you are going to use that local variable further in the sense within this block only, you are trying to use this variable. When you are trying to use that variable, if that variable is not declared or like not initialized, your compiler is going to stop you. Okay, this has not been initialized and you are trying to use it, but JVM, we are not responsible persons to initialize it. So there is no value for that one. So still you are using. So please try to assign your value and then use it. So here, if you don't assign, there is no value has been assigned internally. No one is responsible person to assign a value for that one, but still you are using. So local variable has not been initialized. That means nothing is there, but you are using that nothing somewhere else. Then there is no meaning. So that's the reason we are getting this error. So definitely before going to use your local variables, you have to initialize them. You have to initialize them. Okay. And also, okay, and there is something we have to discuss, but now I don't want to discuss. So here, if you notice here, so let me declare static here, or let me make it static this one. Okay, so applying any keyword to the local variable is illegal. You cannot assign any keyword for local variables. That means even it can't be public. You cannot sorry, it's removed. Public. You cannot assign. You cannot assign private. No, you cannot assign static. You cannot assign what else we have other things like some other keywords, but for now I don't want. You can assign only final keyword. Okay. Here, if we assign or if we don't assign, internally it is going to be considered as final only. Okay, final only, but when it comes to final keyword, there are a lot of rules to be discussed. Okay, but keep in mind for local variables, you should not assign any modifiers. That means access or non-access modifiers, you are not allowed to assign. So when it comes to your local, I mean, global variables, you can assign anything. Anything you can assign. Okay. So, but when it comes to local variables, you cannot assign any access or non-access modifiers. That is one rule you have to keep in mind. Okay. And also without initializing local variables, you cannot use those local variables. Okay. And also you cannot access these local variables outside of this block. It can be anything. It's a regular block or function or constructor. Okay. So that local variable purpose must be used within that block only. You cannot go beyond that block. You cannot use outside of this block. Okay. So this one called also a temporary variables. So we are using this variable temporarily to support for this particular function. And then once after executing this particular function, this variable will be destroyed automatically internally. So garbage collector is going to destroy it or kill it, whatever it is. Okay. So this is how local variables are going to be used. They are temporary variables only. For temporary purpose, we are going to use it. So only for this particular function. So local variables we are going to use very frequently in our automation when we are trying to declare some dynamic XPath specific to some particular functions. There we are going to apply very frequently local variables. Okay, very frequently we are going to use local variables for our Selenium functions. Okay, so this is about variables, but we are not stopping these types of variables. Throughout our sessions, we are going to touch here and there all these concepts, what are instance variable, static variable, or local variable. Each and every day, here and there, we are going to touch it. And there, we might be learning some new things also as we go on. But whatever we have discussed so far, right? These are the main or major rules that we have to follow for these variables. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to stop it for today. So any questions? Yeah, you can. Yeah, now we